What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. It's my pleasure to talk to one of my favorite members of the media ever, a legend in his own right, and that's Jeff Duncan at Jeff Duncan _ Times Picayune, NOLA.com. Catch him on Fox 8. He's written Peyton and Breeze, the men who built the greatest offense in NFL history. A fascinating look into the most successful era of Saints football ever. Cannot recommend it enough. Jeff, what's going on, man? How we doing today?
T-Bob, Jake, man, I'm doing great. I'm out here on Magazine Street in uptown New Orleans, getting ready to get a little breakfast and enjoying life. It was my last little bit of freedom before training camp started.
Yep. This is kind of the calm before the storm, the foreplay, the anticipation before the plunge when you enter the submarine and emerge 6 to 7 months later. Jeff, we had the Cannon on yesterday, and he seems pretty bullish overall about this Saints team. I know this is a very generic question, but kind of give me your overall feeling on this franchise stepping into 2023.
Yeah, look, I tend to follow your father's footsteps on a lot of things, all things Saints. But you know what? I'm scared to say it, T-Bob, but I kind of agree with him.
Yeah.
You got a really strong vibe this offseason. I tend to be cautious in the offseason just because I've learned over the years this is when hype and hope springs eternal.
Yeah.
And, you have to kind of temper that. But there is justifiable reason if you're a Saints fan. I think they fixed clearly the number one issue on the team, and that was the quarterback position. And they got an upgrade there, Derek Carr. Now, how much of an upgrade? That's what I'm waiting to see. You talk to people around the league, they're not as bullish on Derek Carr, including people that covered him or were involved in coaching him with the Raiders. They seem to think we're all buying into the fool's gold here. I guess we're going to find out. I think the Saints feel like that they're a much better cultural fit for him and that he's going to kind of have a resurrected career here in New Orleans after a long stay. But I think that's the key to the whole season. If Derek Carr performs to the expectations, I expect this team to win the division and have a successful season. If he doesn't live up to those expectations, I think it could be a similar season to a year ago.
Okay, so I want to explore that a little bit because when he was in Vegas, or when he was with the Raiders, not in Vegas, when he was with the Raiders, he had multiple Pro Bowl years, had some really good years from a wins perspective, right on the edge of the playoffs 2 years ago. So when you talk to people that worked with him during that time, and they're the ones kind of maybe poo-pooing him a little bit, can you tell us the kind of, like, what are the specific critiques that they're getting into? Why are they saying that they don't think Derek Carr is that guy?
There's a lot of different reasons you hear. The biggest one you hear is kind of a vague term that there's just something missing is what I hear a lot of.
Huh.
Great guy, great leader, does all the right things you want at the position as far as off the field leadership, rallies players. But when you need a play, when there's a crunch time in a game, cannot execute or come through. Very similar, when I heard that, reminded me a little bit of Andy Dalton last year, right? I mean, Dalton did manage the offense, led the team, was the face of the franchise, did all the things you wanted. But, when you got a 2-touchdown lead against the Bengals and you need to put them away, he can't execute. When they're down in Tampa and they need to put away the Bucs, can't quite make that play. That's the similar thing I'm hearing about Carr. Obviously, his statistics in the red zone have been pretty bad, too, over the years, which might amplify some of the things we're talking about. But that's just what I'm hearing, so it gives me a little caution. And I would say this, T-Bob, I've covered the league now. It's coming up on 25 years. It's kind of hard to believe, but teams just don't walk away from quarterbacks. They just don't. Not good ones. That's the one thing that's given me a red flag is why would Josh McDaniels just walk away? He doesn't have the greatest track record as a head coach. I get that, but those guys are hard to find. And if you've got an elite one, you got a top 15 one, you just don't walk away. That I'm not saying that the Saints have gotten, a bad egg here. I'm just saying it gives me pause after years covering this league.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.